Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 of this best of 3 series between Dignitas and Speed Gaming International, formerly known as Rattlesnake International, formerly known as Kaipi, formerly known as whatever the hell they were known as before Kaipi. Anyways, Dignitas for Speed Gaming. Dignitas had a strong early game, but in the end their draft really didn't do anything to shut down Eternal Envy's Weaver. So we'll see if they can respond, as I'm pretty sure with the success that Speed Gaming had in Game 1, it will be too out of the ordinary for Speed Gaming to try to go for a Weaver in their opening two choices, unless Dignitas decide to ban out, which just simply doesn't happen. You don't ban out Weaver in the first phase, not when their heroes like Elder Titan, Batrider, Wisp, all in the pool, waiting to be claimed. Anyways, this is again a matchup from the Netolic Pro League Season 4. Really interesting league format. At the end of every week, the top team of the week gets $1,000, and the top final 4 teams of the season get to compete for $10,000. So, really interesting format. Really nice league format. It might not be the biggest prize pool, but, you know, it keeps things interesting. It's not the longest league format either. And some definitely good teams are in there. Dignitas, Fnatic, Speed Gaming, EG, I think Liquid. I'm not too sure if Liquid are playing, but some really strong teams nonetheless.
Reserve time.
So, Dignitas gonna go with the
ban.
Naga as well as OD bans. I personally have not seen Speed Gaming run Naga Siren, but again, I don't really watch too much Dota recently, trying to get back into a schedule. Speed Gaming going with the very standard, you have first pick, we'll ban out the 2 strongest heroes in the game at the moment ban, as Dignitas gonna pick up the ET, which serves a couple purposes. As Troll, the very standard response by Speed Gaming will be the choice. We'll see if Speed Gaming decide to pick up the Weaver as well. Usually that's not the strongest opening duo, but considering Envy's success on Weaver in the previous game, it wouldn't surprise me too much if Weaver was the choice by Speed Gaming in this case. I mean, Weaver does have some things you can do it again. Bane usually does decently, but you need to have something else besides a Bane. And, well, Speed Gaming, there it is. There's the Weaver saying, alright, this is our core. You didn't show that you could beat it in Game 1. Prove it that you can do it in Game 2. And we'll see if Dignitas can respond, as they're going to pick up a Visage. So, it seems like they want to make sure that Envy doesn't get a 3.5 minute minus like it did in the previous game. And Dignitas clearly have designs on going to go on the offensive with an aggressive try. Although, again, Visage could potentially go on the defensive as well.
10 seconds remaining.
So, Speed Gaming probably going to put Troll in mid lane, put Weaver in the safe lane, have him farm up with Envy on the Weaver, pick some sort of off lane hero, whether it be Darkseer or Clockwork, and then pick up 2 supports. I've never seen Speed Gaming run an aggressive try because they pick up some pretty greedy supports. Well, not greedy, but pick up some... Well, scratch that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But Dignitas gonna get rid of the Clockwork. They saw Bone 7's initiations, and often Bone 7's the linchpin to Speed Gaming's success. Speed Gaming gonna get rid of the Darkseer. But yeah, back to Elder Titan. Not only does it have a strong... Not only was it a strong opening, even though they have Troll and Weaver as a response, since I think Troll can definitely be beaten. It serves a couple purposes. First, it gives Dignitas a reliable way to do a lot of burst damage very quickly, which is something they were definitely lacking. It gives them a nice teamfight presence, reduces the effective HP of Troll as well as Weaver, even though Weaver can juke from a lot of situations, and he has time lapse to get himself out of trouble. It also gives him a nice solid mid laner. It could potentially go in the off lane if he chooses to do so, because he is on the Radiant side, and Radiant, it's a bit easier for the off laner to challenge the pulls than it is for the Dire. But also, for Speed Gaming, they really like to get the Elder Titan in the opening choices, so not only was it a strong pick overall, it also served a huge purpose in terms of denying Speed Gaming, since I personally don't think Dignitas would have picked up a Troll regardless. You know, Speed Gaming gonna get rid of the Luna, so Luna is a pretty decent aggressive trial hero, but backed up with the Visage, she becomes outright terrifying, since the burst damage between those 2 heroes is ridiculous. You know, Dignitas is going to get rid of Bone 7 heroes, looks like, as 3 of them have been away from the pool. But I'm not too sure what Bone 7 will go for in this game. There is still a Timber Saw, but if Dignitas do decide to run a defensive Tron, Visage does do pro against Timber Saw, since the burst damage just eats through that reactive armor super easily. As speaking, well, there's your triple core. And I'm pretty sure this will be a safe lane Weaver. Or it could be an aggressive tri lane, and Lifesteal could be on the safe lane, but I'm pretty sure this is an Eternal Envy Weaver. And if that's the case, we'll see what Speed Gaming decide to back him up with in terms of supports. But this could also be an offlane Leicester saying, alright, offlane, nice knowing you, time to go to the jungle. And,
10
well,
seconds remaining.
Dignitas tried to ban out as many Bone 7 heroes as possible, but
5
in the
seconds
end,
remaining.
they weren't expecting that Leicester a third choice. And I think it was clear that Dignitas had their eyes on Leicester picks since they're taking a bit of time to go over their options now for their hard carry role. Leicester doesn't do that well against Weaver, or Troll for that matter, since Troll does have the tendency to bash lifesteal over and over. But in terms of aggressive tri-lane carries, if you want to run a Visage in the aggressive tri-lane, you definitely have you definitely don't have many worse options than the lifestealer. Or you definitely don't have many better options than the lifestealer. So Dignitas, we're going to have to see what they go for. You can see Dignitas this time, they're holding out their options. They're not going to pick up a jungle hero since they know if they pick up a jungle hero, the Envy's going to go for like a 3.5 minute minus and then pick up level 10 in like 8 minutes and then just have a ridiculous amount of farm and just rip through them at around the 30-minute mark. So they're going to go for a Nyx Assassin, probably going to put him in the support capacity, and also having access into the mana burn against Weaver will be useful, but this time they actually have ways to break through the Lincolns. They have Vendetta, they have Mana Burn, they have the Impale, they have the Visage Grave Chill, they have the Soul Assumption. They have a couple ways to break through the Lincolns, which is more than they had last game where they had pretty much 3 abilities. Still, Speed Gaming have a really strong core lineup, and not only is this core lineup really strong, they all synergize equally well from Troll Ultimate, and having that attack speed is going to be very useful. Don't really have the best lifesteal initiation, although Weaver Shakushing in with the lifesteal bomb going to be pretty useful as well. And Speed Gaming once again going to pick up the Crystal Main, and this seems to be a very good support for Speed Gaming after I saw him in the last game. You know, Crystal Main at one point wasn't level 6 until like maybe 12 minutes in the game. She does do the job in the early game. I mean, not only does it disguise the lanes, because Crystal Main again is a very strong tri-lane hero because of Frostbite as well as Crystal Nova, but she can also jungle with the Frostbite ability, and AUI will be more than happy to do just that, so that'll leave up some free solo pull experience to whatever support does decide to go on the safe lane position. Meanwhile, Dignitas gonna pick up the Viper. One thing I'm a bit worried about for Dignitas once again is that they really are lacking disables, and against Weaver you kind of want to have disables, and Viper just gets eaten alive by Weaver for the most part once Weaver hits a certain level, because Viper, his best attribute is the ability to lock down enemy team's mobility because of his poison abilities, but Weaver just is probably the most mobile carry in the game, might be the most mobile hero in the game, and just simply won't care about Viper's slow. So right now, what do Dignitas have to deal with the Weaver? They have a pseudo stun with the Elder Titan Echo Stomp, which won't be picked up till level 9 since mid lane Elder Titans simply go for the Astral Spirit / Natural Order build, and with the Viper now, it might not even be a mid solo Elder Titan, it could be a Viper mid lane solo against Troll. And they have a bit of burst from Visage, but again, if you want to maximize the burst, you have to have a bit of team fight before the burst, and Weaver can just dodge it. They have some lockdown, but Lifesteal eats through Nyx Assassin super easily, and they have Viper, who doesn't do anything against Weaver. So I think this does a bit more against Weaver than it did in the previous game, but keep in mind they have a Lifesteal and a Troll to go through as well, and once those bashes tick in, it's not going to be pretty for Dignitas. They really need to get a strong teamfight hero to synergize well with ET, unless they manage to get perfect follow-up chainstones with the Visage, as well as the Nyx Assassin Impale.
5 seconds remaining.
Speed Gaming gonna ban out the Storm Spirit. Interesting decision.
Reserve time.
Not too sure why. I don't understand the Storm Spirit ban whatsoever, other than, alright, fast Orchid before Weaver picks up Lincolns could be very annoying, but I think that's pretty much the only reason. Alright, well, if you look at Dignitas, they have their supports, they have 2 of their cores. They need an off lane or a safe lane farmer if Elder Titan decides to go in the off lane position. And right now, Dignitas don't really have the best safe lane farmer to go with, so they're gonna need some way to farm up unless they decide to go for an all-out mid-game presence. Dignitas clearly respecting the range of Earthshaker as well as Crystal Main. Gonna bat the Earthshaker in this game. And Speed Gaming gonna take a bit of time. Right now, Speed Gaming, all they need is one more support. Speed Gaming's draft is a little bit more simple, although they do a nice job disguising which lane the Weaver decides to go in, since, again, this is most likely going to be an Eternal Envy Weaver, rather than a Bone Sound offlane Weaver.
10 seconds remaining.
So, Speed Gaming gonna drain a little bit of clock time. If you look at the supports still left in the pool, Bane's still left in the pool, and I think Dignitas' Bane could be a decent option, although he doesn't do the best in terms of, you know, shutting down an entire team by himself. This time he actually has some backup with Nyx as well as Visage, but Dignitas, I don't think they really need any more supports. They need some damage. They need some physical damage. Speed Gaming going to pick up the Chen, so they're going to run a defensive trial, and once again, that means Leicester will be in the off lane, and that means it's going to rotate to the jungle, and that means Troll is going to be mid, Weaver safe lane with Crystal Main pulling, and Chen going to be farming whatever camps Leicester can't farm. You know, Dignitas had the semblance of an aggressive Trine, but picking up a Chen at this point means that a lot of your Trine presence is going to be much more difficult to execute, because once Chen hits that level 2, level 3, or even level 1, if he gets the appropriate creep, that is just going to be a lot of damage that heroes like Nyx and even Visage can't really withstand at certain points.
Reserve time.
So Dignitas might be adjusting their lanes now, and if that's the case, then this will probably be it still could be an offlane auto tie-in, and actually something that I have been seeing, because I've actually watched, you know, 1 or 2 Dota games recently, is dual lane offlane auto tie-in, and it's nice to see the rise of dual lanes again, but if that's the case, he needs a support that can handle himself in dual lane, like a Shadow Demon or a Jakiro. Just having that extra bit of range and preservability going to be very useful. Dignitas instead going to pick up the Bounty Hunter, so may they think that with the jungle being super crowded, Bounty Hunter can actually pick up a bit more experience than the other guys would, but it's going to be a risky play. Bounty Hunter doesn't really do anything against Weaver other than track once time lapse is down. And once the link, well, he has another way to trigger Lincolns, I guess. But Dignitas, this time, they don't really have that much, well, they have, I don't know, I like this draft a bit more about Dignitas. They have a nice amount of burst. They don't really have the best teamfight complement to Elder Titan, but I mean, there's only so many teamfight heroes you can get on your squad since Darkseer was banned out, and I guess Dignitas weren't really feeling a Jakiro pick against a Leicester. But now Dignitas have the Invisibros, they have Bounty Hunter as well as the Nyx Assassin, so they do have the potential to pick on these supports super easily, and considering that Speed Gaming squad will be farming up for a large portion of the game, then these 2 heroes could get themselves a nice track hold advantage if Bounty Hunter does manage to claim a fast level 6. Anyways, introducing the players and teams on the side of Dignitas, we're going to have 1437 playing the Nyx Assassin, Korok is playing the Viper, Relic is playing the Elder Titan, Infinity is playing the offlane Bounty Hunter, and Beta is playing the Visage. Meanwhile, on the side of Speed Gang, going to have Eternal Envy playing the Weaver, as he's going to plant some wards. Is this going to be an offlane Eternal Envy Weaver? Looks like it'll be the case. Well, no, it's not going to be. He's going to go right back to lane, because Leicester picked up a Quelling Blade, and that means he's going to do choke point jungling, and that means Weaver's going to get safe lane farm, and that means Eternal Envy is going to rush minus once again, but it's going to be Eternal Envy playing the Weaver, Pilot Eye is playing the Crystal Main, Sing Sing going to be playing the Troll Warlord, Bone Sound's playing the Leicester, and AUI 2000's playing the Chen. Now, with the Leicester in the jungle, I don't know if AUI can actually do those nifty little Leicester tricks, or Chen tricks, where he gets maybe a level 5 Chen in 3 minutes or whatever Luminous said. Infinity, what audacity! Boots of speed, rush, getting pulled, everything. Picks up a free courier kill, and that is going to be heartbreaking for Sing Sing, because I can't imagine that Viper versus Troll is in favor of Troll, but once with the courier death, that means Troll can't spam the Royal Axes, and that is going to mean Bottle Rush will be out of the equation for the moment. So Infinity, a really nice maneuver, going to give his team a nice bit of gold, and that is going to make mid lane a lot more difficult. Bone 7 decided to pick up an Orb of Venom. Usually you don't really see Orb of Venom when you go for a jungle build, but I guess that's going to be the case, and you can see Dignitas definitely very scared. They know there are possibility of wards to block off the Chen pulls, but A really nicely placed sword by the bounty hunter, gonna block off a couple of jungling opportunities because they know we Bone 7 won't be able to keep up with the jungle with the Chen. So this is gonna be very, very tricky for Speed Gang to actually maximize the efficiency of the jungle. And meanwhile, Infinity going to work on Sing Sing already. Sing Sing getting driven completely out of the lane, and that means Relic is going to get a nice early game advantage. Korok going to be farming it up on the Viper. Yeah, I don't think Leicester can actually rotate to the bottom lane to challenge Viper, since there are some good supports to lock down Leicester, and Viper does do very well against Leicester in his own right, and it seems like Dignitas is going to naturally push the creep wave ASAP. They know Bone 7 won't have that much HP since he is jungling. And with the dual jungle, that means Chen won't be able to roam. So far, Dignitas with some very impressive early game maneuvers, going to be taking control of the experience in the very early stages of the game. And Infinity just going in on Pilot Eye. Got to be careful because there is another Frostbite online, but Infinity being pulled everything should be okay for the most part. We'll see if Envy decides to go. Looks like he's been in the straight up Midas Rush as he picked up a Ring of Protection. Going to pick up a Ring of Aquila to push out the wave a bit more rather than going for the safe static Midas Rush, since they know Dignitas supports could potentially rotate a bit earlier on. Sing Sing doesn't even have enough gold to pick up the bottle just yet, but Relic now with the bottle as well as Boots going to just be spamming that Ancestral Spirit to the best of his possible ability. And that's going to be a lot of safe farm for Relic, but seems like Troll doing a nice job getting himself back in the lane. The annoying thing about Ancestral Spirit is that it doesn't one-shot the creeps, and looks like ET just going to spam the wave and then just pick up runes rather than get the farm going that he really needs, and that is going to mean Sing Sing will pick up an experience advantage at this very early stage of the game. AI does have a Smoke Seed, but only level 2. Doesn't really have the best creeps to go ganking with. And all the while Infinity still only level 1, so it seems like Bounty Hunter not able to pick up nearly as much experience as he hoped for. Korok going to be farming up. Hasn't picked up any items just yet. Could go for a Midas build. Probably going to go for a Shadow Blade build if I'm not mistaken. But so far, Envy's doing a magnificent job controlling the creep equilibrium. And because of Pilot Eye's support, there's really not too much that Bounty Hunter can do. Bounty Hunter can't really do anything. He can't rotate into the jungle. He can't really challenge the supports because he's melee, and with the carry rotating through, he's got to be a bit more careful than others would. He can't, go to the other lanes to gank because he's not even level 2. So, Bounty Hunter gonna finally pick up level 2, and that means he could potentially do a bit more harass into Pilot Eye. Pilot Eye is already level 3, and a couple more hits could potentially spell the end of Bounty Hunter. So even with everything being pulled to the Bounty Hunter, there's only so much you can do against a Crystal Main, one of the best early game supports in the game. Seems like Envy's still going to rush that Midas, not going for the super fast Midas rush. Instead, no, he's going to go for phase, but it's going to skip the Midas entirely for the moment. And looks like he just wants to focus on controlling the lane as best he possibly can, but Sing Sing just going in on Relic, can't really do too much. Sing Sing already has an experience advantage, and Relic just going to bottle up and get runes. But so far, this matchup going very well for the Troll. But as I was saying, the Ancestral Spirit, it's very good in terms of controlling lane and pushing away, but as a nasty byproduct of getting all the enemy creeps into deny range. And because Elder Titan does have not the best maneuverability, he won't be able to pick up every last hit, and Sing Sing is fully exploiting that, using the bottle, using the Roaring Axe whenever it's back online. And, well, there's only so much Relic can do. On the bottom lane, we're going to see a rotate. We're going to see a triple smoke gank as, well, everybody inside Dignitas are at full HP. Looks like the Harpy Stormcrafter has been used to give a bit more damage. Korok might be the recipient of being first blooded as Korok is trying to do whatever he can. Is he going to survive? Viper does pick up the first blood as it's going to be a 2-for-1 thus far. Visage trying to do whatever he can, trying to pick up the last hit, but no, it's going to be a triple kill or a triple death, and all the while Troll picked up a kill on Elder Titan in the mid lane as Elder Titan looks like he wanted to go in, but pay for it with his life because, well, Troll just simply too strong. Meanwhile, Infinity taking too much damage on the top lane. Got to be very, very careful as Dust of Appearance was used. Envy still going in as here comes the Sal back online. They're going to catch out Envy. Envy going to have to be so careful. It's not yet level 6 as there is another Central Chikuchi just came back online. And I guess that's sometimes why you want to have phase bits, getting that extra bit of mobility on your side rather than having the bulk HP that Treads gives you. Means that when Chikuchi's on cooldown, you can still get away. But so far, despite everything that Dignitas tried to do in terms of shutting down the jungle of Speed Gaming, it seems like, well, Speed Gaming just saying, alright, screw the jungle, we're just going to go gank you. And so far that's working out because right now Speed Gaming are losing every single lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know if Sing Sing spot out Infinity. Gonna drop the axes as there will be another smoke gank. This time it's gonna be for Sing Sing, and I don't think Sing Sing will be able to survive this one. As Mana Burn, Soul Assumption, a lot of resources were invested, but I think that was very much necessary. As now Titan level 6 and didn't pick up the ultimate. I guess it's difficult to land the ultimate unless you go for a very early team fight. Meanwhile, Korok on the top lane. Don't know how that happened, but Korok is gonna die, and he's gonna die painfully. Why was Korok up there? Who knows? It's Korok.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, I guess the reason was that they want to get Bounty Hunter action in the middle lane, but I think they could just abandon the top lane altogether for the moment, as there will be a stun, as well as, ooh, nice rage to dodge the Shuriken toss. Level 1 Shuriken, I don't think it would have actually picked up the kill on the Lifesteal in the end. Still, better be safe rather than sorry. And that is going to mean that the squad of Speed Gaming will be able to retreat safely. All the while, Speed Gaming farming back up with their Chen, who's already level 6, Crystal Main, level 4, still having a nice impact, has wards, has boots at the very least. Meanwhile, on the side of Dignitas, 1437, not close to level 5, Viper went for a Midas build. I like Midas on Viper because at points in the game, Viper just doesn't farm. He doesn't flash farm at all because he has no flash farming abilities. So having the Midas is going to be very, very useful in a lot of circumstances. As 1437, did he actually go in? He went in, but he doesn't have enough mana for his stun. I don't know what the attempt of the gank was, but that is going to definitely cost 1437 his life as the Rage by Bone 7 will go through. Or Venom. One more hit would have spelled the end. Sing Sing is going to dive in. Could potentially kill Infinity as well as Relic is trapped in. Will this be a triple kill? No, the Spirit is going to come back online. They will finish off Sing Sing as Bone 7 will infest Creep going to go back on the offensive, trying to finish off Relic as the auto attacks by Elder Titan with the Spirit going to be too much. Was Speed Gaming's over-aggressiveness too much? It definitely was, as that was a nice recovery by Dignitas. And all the while, the tower almost got denied. 1437, gonna have to be very careful activating the Spike Carapace, and Envy doesn't have time ups. That could have spelled the end, although I think he knew stun was on cooldown. Still, this game definitely a lot more action-packed than the previous one in the early stages. But so far, I have to be very impressed because Speed Gaming picked up a very greedy lineup. They have a triple core they want to farm up. But now is, well, they're still not at the danger zone. Bounty Hunter is not even close to level 5. This is disastrous for Dignitas because this is the moment when supports are super squishy and when the carries want to farm up that Bounty Hunter and Nyx Assassin want to roam in, pick up the kills. Well, Envy, I think the Bounty Hunter auto attacks just barely wore off. And if that's the case, that's pretty unfortunate for Infinity, as he could have potentially picked up a kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now, Bone 7 got to be very careful because keep in mind, Viper Strike goes through magical immunity, and Lifesteal can't really escape from Viper too easily unless he teleports away to safety. But yeah, now is the point in the game where you want a Bounty Hunter and perhaps Nyx Assassin just roam and kill supports, get yourself back in the game. But Bounty Hunter is going to use a large portion of the game to get his experience back on so he can actually hit level 6 and get the track. Meanwhile, Relic, invisibility going to allow him to preserve his life for the moment. Sing Sing, level 9, 59 CS, as Envy is going to pick up a solo kill onto the Bounty Hunter. Well, Dust That is going to be the death of Infinity. And this is the weakness of Bounty Hunter lineups. If you just focus on shutting him down very early on, Bounty Hunter, he has a comeback hero for his team, but it's not a keep farms particularly quickly. And if you just shut him down super early on, then his effectiveness in the mid-game does get decreased by quite a bit. And there will be a triple man gank onto Relic. There will be a couple of teleports in. Relic will still die nonetheless, as there was only one teleport. The Visage Familiars were the only factor in terms of defending the life of Relic, and Visage himself was not yet in the picture. And so far, things are going disastrously for Dignitas. It seems like Speed Gang just have better movement. Their only mistake was just diving in too deep for this middle tier 1 and trying to pick up whatever kill they possibly could, as Shuriken Toss being used just to kill a creep. Very, very bad news for Dignitas. And I still think Speed Gaming had a massive late game advantage. They have a triple core, and that does get very, very strong as game goes on, and their core gets amplified even more by the presence of the Troll Warlord ultimate. Envy gonna pick up a kill. We'll be able to time up Soy to safety. Visage never stood a chance in hell, as they will be able to spot out the Leicester. Vendetta will pick up Bone 7. Echo Stomp. Bone 7 will still die. Oh, Rage is simply not enough. They're gonna kill Sing Sing as well. Infinity will eventually pay for it with his life, as Envy gonna try to secure on 1437 in the end. Timelapse is not online for Envy, so he's got to be pretty careful on how he decides to chase this. As Paladin gonna find himself slowed up. Envy gonna once again Shikuchi away. Korok max the corrosive skin. I like that build quite a bit, and you can see Envy taking so much damage. He will die because he's corrosive skin and took too much poison damage. Korok will die as well. AY with a double kill. But Korok picked up a triple kill, and that might just let Dignitas get themselves back in the game, since Viper picked up so much. Bounty Hunter wasn't able to get any tracks off, but he did manage to get a crucial level 6, Nyx Assassin level 6 as well. And Elder Titan didn't even drop his ultimate, but he's level 10 because he was the sole survivor of that engagement. Meanwhile, oh, Infinity trying to go in. Will pick up a track kill. Can they get another track back online? Will they try to kite Paladai as best they possibly can? No, the Visage will secure the kill. Visage with the Familiars. I think he could have potentially waited, so track it back on, but still 3 seconds is a long time. So good rebuttal by Dignitas, utilizing their mobility, or utilizing the Invisibros to get the ganks onto the squishy supports. Means they have to still, means they still have a decent shot in this game. Still, it's safe to say Speed Gaming do have a big advantage. You can see at 13 minutes in the game, 2.5 gold, 2.5 thousand gold difference is quite enormous, although the experience graph is remaining the same. Envy does have time lapse, as they will be able to get a track off. Envy will even bother the time lapse? No, he will not. Just gonna wait for these ally to teleport himself in. Krok gonna rush the Agnum Scepter. I like this so much in this game because having the 80% move speed slow onto the Leicester is just gonna be absolutely tremendous. And having the range against Troll Lifestealer just means that you can kite them into oblivion. So having the straight up Agnum Scepter rush is going to be very, very useful, and a large credit has to go for the Midas, since it's not like Viper's farming, he's fighting. Relic going to hit level 11, we'll pick up a second point to the ultimate. Still not many levels in Echo Stomp. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin in the middle lane is Vendetted up, and seems like the squad of Dignitas want to get some sort of engagement going. Infinity will be able to get a track off onto Sing Sing, and gonna reveal himself in the process. But seems like Speed Gaming will try to defend this, as there will be a teleport by Envy, and this is going to be a very dangerous fight. This could perhaps dictate how the mid game goes, but both teams just going to back off for now. I think Dignitas want to farm a bit more. They want to farm the Elder Titan, get the second point to Echo Stomp, so they can at least have a 3-second duration, or 3-second duration on the song, because again, it's where it takes 3 seconds to tick in. Bone 7 just gonna rage TP away, picks up the armlet. So offlane Leicester, who was forced in jungle with a reasonable tiny armlet, and again Bone 7, he's been fighting. Envy went for a bit of a different build, didn't decide to skip Lincolns for now, instead went for a bit more of an early game build, and so far it's working out, as he is 3-1-3, and has some decent items in order for him to actually have an impact in the early stages of the game. You know, Envy or Infinity gonna pick up some much needed farm. Gonna probably pick up the Bracer, go for the drums himself, as Viper does get denial, only one more component away from finishing the Aghanim Scepter. And this Viper could be a scary force, but still have to be very careful on his positioning. He's incredibly endurant with his massive HP pool, as well as the boost that Corrosive Skin gives him. But if he's the only one surviving these engagements, then it won't matter how tanky he is, he still will potentially fall. You know, Speed Gaming gonna go for Roshan. There isn't any detection by the rain to scout this out, as there is gonna be an Invest Bomb by Envy trying to scout out Relic as well as the squad of Dignitas Swarm. Just gonna barely catch Beatas on the tip, but Roshan, without the forces of Envy as well as Bone 7 there, still above half HP, and Viper gonna go to work on Chen Creeps. Won't pick up the kill, as there will be an engagement. Bounty does pick up the Weaver, as I think that was a track kill. Bounty is still alive, and this is very dangerous for Speed Gaming, because if they pick up more track kills, this could give Speed Gaming everything they possibly need to get themselves back in the game. That was yet another track kill, if I'm not mistaken, as Weaver gonna buy back, get himself right back in the fight. Does pick off Nick's Assassin, as Pilot will find himself shuriken up before he can drop the Frozen Field, and Mila Sing Sing is going to do whatever he can. The track was applied to Sing Sing. Viper Strike going to be used. Sing Sing probably going to die trying to do whatever he can to Infinity before he does die it, but another track kill going the way of Speed Gaming. Envy will likely pick off Korok in the end, and ooh, the backline's going to be completely exposed, as Relic very low in terms of HP, trying to do whatever he can, but the Visage Familiars will just be able to barely catch any, but nice micro by AY, and that is going to be a complete team wipe for Dignitas. Keep in mind, the Visage already died. Still, I think Meister died, Troll died. Crystal Main, did she buy back? Did Chen buy back? I thought One Sports died. Well, Envy bought back. Still, I don't know who won in the end. I guess Speed Gang, but in terms of gold, I think it was pretty much even. 3 for 5, but all 3 of those kills were track kills. But with the experience of a full team wipe, that is going to mean that Envy is going to pick up an Aegis, 1800 gold in the bank, and that is going to be very, very unfortunate for the squad of Dignitas, as, well, now a lot of their momentum has been lost. Still, with Bounty picking up so many track kills, he now has an Ogre Club, going to go for that BKB build. And Speed Gang themselves don't really have much to do against BKB other than bashes and troll nets from the Chen. Meanwhile, 1437, Arcane Boots, gonna probably go for the dagger eventually. Visage, not too many items, but I don't think Visage himself needs that many items other than maybe a medallion. Still, Dignitas don't have a natural mech carrier, and I think mech could be very useful in these long, drawn-out team fights. Although, well, as I say that, I failed to realize that Relic picked up the mech. And Spirit gonna have to be watched carefully, because it might reveal the locations of Dignitas. You know, Envy gonna continue to farm up. I'm not too sure what he's gonna go for. Could still potentially go for Lincolns and then go for Desolator. But in these long drawn-out team fights, I think going straight up for the Desolator could be the appropriate response. But it looks like Dignitas just want to desperately get some map control on their side. Gonna pick up a tier 1 tower, and all the while, Speed Gaming looking to push for the tier 2. Relic does have the Stomp online to delay the assault for the moment, and the question is, will he use it?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Here comes the Stomp. Not going to hit anything other than creeps, because there isn't any sort of set, but the tower, it is going to get into Glyph territory very, very soon. Bone 7 going to pop out, going to initiate on a 1437. That is going to be 1437. Going to be out of commission for the moment. The tower will get killed off, as Hand of God has already been expanded. The Courier going to be in a lot of danger. Envy will be in a lot of trouble. Will lose his Aegis, but here comes the freezing field by Paladin. Here comes the stun as well as the ultimate, but Relic could only go in for one hit. First hit bash by Sing Sing, gonna trap Relic in place for the moment. It's gonna be a 1-for-0 so far. Not the worst defense by Dignitas, but they still lost to tier 2 and they lost one of their heroes. This has to be considered a success for Singapore, or for Speed Gaming. I'm just so used to seeing SG means Singapore.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
But that just showed you in these messy, chaotic fights, having
Dire's
Weaver on your
middle tower
squad
is
just
under
means
attack.
the difference between winning these fights and losing these fights. And Weaver, now close to level 16, 3.5k gold in the bank, still holding on to what he could potentially get. And now you can see the gold graph. 4k, 4.5k isn't the biggest disadvantage in the world. Still at 20 minutes, it's definitely nothing to sneeze at. 5.5k, 6k experience deficit, definitely telling a bit more of the tale. And I think Dignitas realized, alright, we're not going to win late game, we need towers. And it seems like they're going to try to brute force their way so they can actually pick up towers before the split pushing of speed gaming becomes a bit too much. Another unfortunate thing for Dignitas is that Bayer is not at level 11, so that means these tracks not going to be super effective because only 50 gold for allies, and that's pretty much just essentially an additional creep. But getting that level 2 track online does add up very, very quickly. But it seems like Dignitas, they want to push for more, but Envy is infested by Bone 7, and there is an Alpha Wolf to boost up Speed Gang's attack damage by just a bit more. You know, Korg picked up a Ghost Scepter, a really nice item. Trist's Relic is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to get bashed to Oblivion. Does drop the Earth Splitter, but it seems like Speed Gang will be able to dodge all of it. 1437 just going to give up his life as well. Bone 7's taking a lot of edge. Bone 7 will die. He is tracked up. No, he's not going to die just yet. Korg did not feel like he needed to drop the Viper Strike, but with the 12-second cooldown, why the hell not? So far, Speed Gang are just cleaning up house, but Korok is still there in the background. He's trying to do whatever he can. He knows he was screwed, and he's just trying to pick up whatever kills he can before he dies. He's going to kill off Pilot Eye, I think. The question is, will Pilot Eye get denied? No, he's going to just barely survive 20 HP. Weaver picks up an Ultra kill, and I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for Dignitas, although it is difficult for Speed Gang to crack Dignitas' base. But having your initiator initiate upon is probably the worst case scenario, and having a hero who just does so much damage in teamfights being the primary focus initiation just means that, well, Dignitas, they tried to retreat, but they simply couldn't. Still, I think the best avenue, if Dignitas want to get themselves back in the game, is get Bounty Hunter level 11. So at least if you take a team fight, even if you lose massively, you'll pick up, you know, a little bit of gold. You know, Elder Titan gonna go for the Assault Cure. Speed is still nothing. And I think it's time for Beatus to pick up a Bracer, but this is Beatus Dota, 25 minutes in the game. This is what he usually has. But I think it's taking a bit too much to the extreme. You know, 1437, Wand Bracer, Korok, Ghost Scepter, a really nice item decision. Gonna pick up level 16, so now he'll have access into the 80% slow that the Viper Strike gives him. And the 12-second cooldown, although he already had the 12-second cooldown. Has the Ghost Scepter to avoid a lot of damage that Speed Gang can throw his way. Meanwhile, Speed Gaming have the Mecha, gonna pick up a Force Staff on the Chen, most likely. Weaver picked up a BKB, a really smart decision, because there is a lot of burst damage and there is a lot of single target damage that can break through the Lincoln, so getting BKB on Weaver, a really smart decision by Eternal Envy. There is still a Viper Strike you have to worry about, but Weaver is one of those carries that doesn't care as much because she has Shikuchi. Troll, BKB, Vlad's, and Pilot Eye's Ironwood Branch. I mean, BKB seems to be the name of the game for Speed Gaming. You know, it seems like Bone 7 going to go for a bit more of a mobility-oriented build, although this could be a Helvin's Halberd against the Viper, since Viper is pretty much all of Dignitas' physical damage. But Eternal Envy, as well as Bone 7, looking to go on offensive, will pick off 1437. And 1437, we hardly knew ye, because Maestro had the gem, and Crystal Man gave the gem. Really nice foresight by Speed Gaming. All the little things that Speed Gaming does is definitely on the sort of top tier level with Alliance and Navi. They give gem to the allies, they stack appropriately, they make nice decisions with smoke ganks. It's just their team fights and their item decisions often are questionable. But if they can fix that, they can definitely be maybe one of the top 5 teams in the Western region or in the Eastern region when they actually go to China in December. You know, I don't think you want to let a team like Dignitas farm back up, although, well, Bounty Hunter is now level 11, and I think this is going to prompt a smoke gank by Dignitas. They have the level in online, so even if they lose 2 to 4, it's probably going to be even. If they can win a team fight, then that can go a long way in terms of getting themselves right back into the game. But even a single smoke gank, that can definitely recoup the smoke cost and then some, as it seems like Dignitas gonna run into the enemy woods, but there was a ward. I don't think it spotted the smoke since the smoke was popped over here. And you can see Pilot gonna be in lot of trouble, gonna get himself stunned up. They need to get a track online. Will they get a track online? They will not. They'll get a Viper Strike instead, and that is going to be Pilot death. But still, 1 kill for nothing, going to be pretty useful. Envy going to go on the offensive, will pop the BKB, but you can see he's so damn slow. Earth Splitter will be used to cover the retreat of Dignitas, but the BKB is just going to render that Earth Splitter essentially useless. Troll picks up the Visage, Nyx Assassin dead as well. Relic, not too much mana to use any abilities. Korok just going to run as fast as he possibly can. Track, going to boost up the move speed by Dignitas ever so slightly, as Sing Sing going to find himself stunned. Viper Strike will be applied to Envy, but he still has Shikuchi. Relic will die, as it's going to be a 3-for-1, and that 1 kill by Dignitas wasn't even a track kill. Korok, well, he still has the Ghost Scepter, as Envy, he's going to back off right about now. Envy will be able to time up Sortie safety, but Bone 7. Well, he knew Ghost Scepter in the end will be used to preserve his life, but that is going to mean a tier 2 for squad of Speed Gaming. And Speed Gaming, they still have a window of opportunity where they don't have to push against the Elder Titan ultimate. It seems like they're going to back up for now and probably wait for Rush. You know, Envy 5.2k gold in the bank. Could pick up a Desolator, could almost straight up fish an MKB, but instead decides to go for a Desolator. Really smart choice, as again, the minus armor will allow Speed Gaming to crack the base a bit more efficiently. And that is going to mean a very quick Roche for the squad of Speed Gaming. Speed Gaming seems to have all the momentum in the world, as the early game just simply did not go Dignitas' way. And when you pick up a mid-game centric team, you need to have them, well, Visage! Beat Dota. On 200 gold for the price of an Aegis as well as a Courier, definitely going to be worth it. And that is going to mean that Speed Game going to be a little bit deterred in terms of pushing the base, because they won't have the Aegis Weaver to fall back upon. You know, Bounty Hunter will pick up the BKB if he chooses to go for that item. I think he himself needs a Ghost Scepter, because there's just so much physical damage, but getting the BKB to protect his life against Crystal Maiden, gonna be pretty useful. You know, Bone 7 will finish the S and Y. AOI still a little bit away from finishing the 4 staff. Meanwhile, Troll Warlord probably gonna go for a, I think, Bariza or Daedalus, because getting that extra attack speed means you have a lot more potential to get a lot of crits. So I think personally Daedalus is better on Troll than an MKB. You know, Korok himself gonna go for an MKB. Dignitas, they know they don't have any options. They can't let Speed Gaming just sit on their laurels and farm up. They know they have to take it to them, because they know in the ultralight game they lose super badly. And already it's looking pretty grim, because the BKs just render Elder Titan essentially useless to the majority of Speed Gaming's team. Pick up a Bracer, Vitas, come on. Just pick up Bracer. Just get something. This is depressing. Every game I watch of you, you have nothing. And, well, Envy spies with his little eye Relic. And, well, really not much more can be said after that death. And with the Elder Titan dead, he's going to buy it back. The question is, do Speed Gaming want to keep pursuing the issue? They will have to face an Elder Titan ultimate, but I think they're going to push in, try to force out a glyph, and then back off. No, it looks like they're going to back off right now. They got the buyback. That's pretty much all they wanted. And now the next time they kill Elder Titan, he won't have buyback. So that'll be a lot easier time in terms of breaking the base. Meanwhile, going to be more than happy to farm back up, pick up the courier, pick up, Daedalus or whatever they want. And the goal graph and experience graph shows how much shit Dignitas are in at the moment. They are in a lot of trouble, to say it mildly. Gold per minute, net worth, all favoring the squad of Speed Gaming by a ridiculous margin. But at the very least, I guess for Dignitas, all their heroes are level 11. Aside from Beatus. Dignitas gonna go with a very obscure smoke gank. They know that Speed Gaming like to farm, stack ancients and all that shit. We're hoping to potentially catch somebody out of position, but Speed Gaming just, doing the obvious choice, saying, well, there's no more tier 2s to push outside of the tier 2 on the top lane. Let's finish that off. So they will finish it off, and now with the smoke being revealed, that is going to be pretty much a free tower, because I don't even think Speed Gaming will have to teleport them. Well, they're going to teleport them. Will they try to trade? I don't think Dignitas actually have enough damage to do a trade successfully. And you can see that is the case. Dire going to pop the glyph. Envy, oh, he's going to find Korok. Do they have... No, they don't have any stuns, so Envy just went in by himself. And this could be a bit of a disaster, but no, it looks like Speed Gaming will be able to escape safely, as Infinity will be able to teleport himself away to safety. And that is going to be a tier 2 for free for the side of Speed Gaming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, right now, Speed Gaming just playing the waiting game. Clearly not too troubled on how the game's pace is going. Again, they'd have a massive late game advantage. And Troll, now finishing MKB, decided to forego the Daedalus. I would have thought Daedalus would have been a better option, but I guess I was mistaken. Meanwhile, the supports on the side, Dignitas, Force Staff, or Speed Gaming. Force Staff now on AUI 2000, Ghost Scepter now on Pilot Eye, with 1400 gold in the bank. Infinity, I don't know if he was spot out by the Sentry Ward, but Dignitas just trying to get whatever semblance of map control they can. But keep in mind, it is the side of Speed Gaming that have the gem. Unless Dignitas decide to buy a gem themselves. Still, when you have an Elder Titan, if you can manage to hit an ultimate that will drain 30%, 35% of the HP immediately before the other team can even pop the BKB. So it's never over till it's over, but it's looking grim. The Fat Lady, well, she's warming up her vocal cords, because this series looks like it'll be over relatively soon at this rate. Beatus tanking the creep wave so that his tower doesn't take too much damage. Small plays like that, because you don't want to forfeit any possible damage on your tier 3s. Speed Gaming, well, they said, you deny a rush, we're just gonna wait for the next one, I guess. I think that is the rationale behind Speed Gaming's thought process, because they clearly have no intent of pushing in. Envy gonna get something delivered to him. That is gonna be a full Daedalus, because he will pick up the 2400 gold needed to finish the item, or probably just gonna sell his bottle or wand, because his item slots are completely empty. Beat is using the familiars to potentially kill off the courier once again. We'll be able to do so successfully, and with that, that's not gonna be a push. A second courier kill. Nice micro by Beatus, catching out the courier for the second time. And we'll see if that momentum is going to spark a Dignitas push. But even without a Daedalus on the squad of Team Speed Gaming, I think they have more than enough firepower to overcome Dignitas in the next engagement. But we're going to have to see and find out. Oh, the Elder Titan, Elder Stomp has already been used as here comes the Stomp. No, couldn't get the Earth Splitter. Korok Ghost Sceptering up. The Ghost Scepter is going to wear off very, very soon. Beat is going to get chased into oblivion. Korok, well, the Ghost Scepter already wore off. Fortunately, Seven just says, screw this shit. Gonna try to do whatever he can. Gonna pop the Vendetta. And, well, that is gonna be another team by Pilot Eye with a celebratory ultimate. As that definitely wasn't necessary. But just wanted to pick up the kill. And I think this is done for Dignitas. That was... When you have an Elder Titan, one of the strengths of Elder Titan is to sit over here while your team fights over here. So the positioning of Elder Titan definitely giving something to be desired, but again, when you have a Weaver Leicester initiation, I guess it doesn't really matter what position you're in, so I obviously can't blame Relic too much. I mean, EV RTZ mid, but Elder Titan versus Troll, definitely a bit more of a difficult matchup. And this should be the first set of middle barracks, even though the Elder Titan Earth Splitter is back online. Still, two tier 3 towers going to die in a matter of seconds. The Desolator go to work on one set of barracks. Meanwhile, the Earth Splitter just going to be dodged by the other set. And this is going to be a 4v5 fight in one side of the map. But Envy has decided to join the party. Envy going to look to chip away. Will be able to pick off the melee barracks on both of the lanes. Envy will find himself chain stun up. But the Shikuchi going to mean he survives for the moment. Although the Sentry Ward has been planted. They picked up Envy. Envy likely not going to back. Probably won't feel the need to, as meanwhile Speed Gaming just going to BKB up and be sent right back home. AY will trade his life in the process. Still, 2 melee barracks in exchange. Going to be more than worth it. Although Roshan could potentially go the way of Dignitas. Still, I don't know how much an Aegis on this team will really matter. Viper has a Daedalus, but keep in mind his auto attack damage, unless the enemy is sub 40% HP, is not really that impressive. I mean, 240% of 200 damage, not really the biggest deal, but Sing Sing gonna find himself out of position. That's gonna be another track kill. This is a slight throw, but I still think Speed Gaming have a really, really big advantage. If they lose this game, well, that is gonna be downright embarrassing. Question is, does Envy want to buy back? I don't think he'll need to, because the fortification will be there. Sing Sing himself, does he have buyback? He does. So I think, well, Sing Sing will definitely have to buy back to get himself into the fight. Envy will be able to respawn naturally, and will be able to defend his base relatively soon, as 1437 wasn't able to drop off the Impale. Meanwhile, here comes the assault by Bone 7. The Viper Strike will be applied to Bone 7 as well, but Ghost Scepter has already been used by Korok, and that is going to mean this Viper is going to die pretty quickly. And, well, Speed Gaming just going to clean house. Korok, with the successful juke for now, Beat is going to body block Korok for the moment. Will be able to save his life, as Beat is will actually escape as well. So, 2 for a tier 3. Well, at this point, Dignitas pretty much need to do whatever they can, but Invadi will lose his life. And the range barracks has died. I think this is the end of the game. Beat is please. I think he was talking about the courier. Dignitas still want to give it one last go. But Speed Gaming are in your base. They didn't even bother going for Rush, even though Sing Sing bought back, as Daedalus has now been fished on Weaver after an eternity, seemingly. And, well, 240 damage being hit by Weaver without any Desolator procs, or without any Daedalus procs, still going to be pretty useful, as here comes the Dynamite. Infinity got killed off way too quickly, and this should be the end of the game. There's the 816 crit we were looking for, as Envy dominating with a triple kill.
Radiant's bottom tower
That is definitely going to be a GG. Dignitas. I think their draft is okay until the Bounty Hunter. If they just decide to put Viper in the mid lane, put Bounty Hunter, or put Elder Titan in the off lane, even though there was a heavily contested jungle. Or maybe picked up a different mid lane matchup than Elder Titan against Troll. I think Dignitas could have had what it took, but just the lineup was just not there. And the GG hasn't been called, but pretty sure this game is over. So I'm just gonna fast forward because I'm pretty sure this game is over. I mean, every major team fight where Speed Gaming isn't diving into the enemy fountain has been convincingly won 5-1, 5-0 by Speed Gaming. Although they might be able to pick up Chen. Bam, track kill. But I expect when Speed Gaming respond, they're either going to rush down mid or just take the Aegis and then rush down mid and end the game. I mean, this would be a comeback of epic proportions. But I don't think Dignitas have the right comeback lineup. They don't have the carry in place. Yeah, Bounty Hunter is a strong comeback hero. But Viper is not a strong comeback carry. He's a single target carry that does damage over time, which is definitely not going to be useful against the likes of Eternal Envy and Sing Sing. So one last push attempt by Speed Gaming should spell the end. Cheese is up on Eternal Envy. Bone 7 has an Aegis, picked up a Diffusal Blade. This is something I've been wanting to see a bit more. Diffusal Blade to counteract Ghost Scepters, since Ghost Scepter is definitely the pain of Dignitas's, or of Speed Gaming's life in this game. But now you can purge the Ghost Scepter. So it's not like Diffusal is that expensive, 1300 gold for off-lane hero or for a mid-solo hero. Still pretty useful. Well, that doesn't seem fair. You shouldn't be able to disjoint Viper Strike. It's an ultimate. Still, Dignitas holding on, Sing Sing probably getting bored. Just gonna go in on the barracks relatively soon. Could just have some fun, you know. Have Sing Sing hit the buildings a couple times, send him back home, get Boots Child, get him right back in. But this should be the end. Envy is just simply distracting. And he's doing a nice job, but he has a cheese. He's going to use it. And this is going to be the death of the bottom barracks. Elder Titan can't do anything. And, well, looks like they're just going to do whatever they can to kill off Eternal Envy, which they are successful in doing. But that should be GG. Because that is Mega Creeps for the Dire. And the Radiant definitely don't have a lineup that can defend against Mega Creeps. But a pretty long range ultimate by Viper. Almost enough damage to disrupt everything. Paladin gonna pop BK, sent right back home. This should be the end for Dignitas. They don't have a lineup that can defend against Mega Creeps. We were gonna buy back, probably just looking to end this game ASAP. I don't know why this game is still going on. This game is over. 20 graphs stuff. Running around circles. Gonna go in top lane. Gonna just go mid, split push, yada yada. This game is over. Pie, lie, die. Okay. Accessin, not okay. Envy. BKB, okay for now. Bone 7. Alright, Envy, just hit the throne, please. Well, Sing Sing has his priority straight, but Viper Strike won't really do anything against that. Envy gonna die. 7 gonna die. Gonna lose the Aegis. Fady almost died to creeps. Bone 7. Gonna go to work. Thank you. Please end this game. And the game's over. Alright, I think I analyzed this game to death. Bounty Hunter Not a strong last pick. If you want to get a favorable mid lane matchup, which Elder Time vs Troll doesn't seem like it was very favorable in the end. But I think Dignitas are going to have nightmares about Weaver because that Weaver, I think his kill score in the end was something like 30 kills and 8 deaths during that series. Pretty ridiculous, but thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy that game. Until the end. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.